I wonder what's on TV right now.
Can I help you?
Jerry, this is Jacob. Didn't
Oh,
you
my
get a
favorite
text
show.
message?
No, you must be Jerry. That's a fine looking apron. Williamson, no Irish. Okay.
Hello?
Oui, hello, Jose.
Yeah, it's... Oh,
It's me, Jérôme.
oh God. Yes, Jerome. How are you?
I'm good, Jose, and you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for calling. What's going on, Jerome?
Oh, nothing, Jose. It's just that I had these profiteroles that were just so good.
Okay.
And I had to tell you. And the Pâte and the Pastry Cream were so
Seriously,
amazing.
Jerome?
You have to make a video.
You want me to make a video about profiteroles because you think people would like watching the video.
Oui, Jose, you have to make this so simple, I'm sure.
Dude,
And you're a great teacher, so you can teach
Jerome,
how to make this profiterole
Jerome,
with a delicious
Jerome,
cream, the Pâte Choux,
stop
the
it.
Pistachio,
I'm not...
perfect. Please,
Okay, you know what? You know what? If I make the video, are you going to leave me alone? Are you going to leave me alone or make the video?
Oui, Jose, of course.
Okay, I'll make the video. Don't call me again, okay? You're in France. Enjoy your time in France. Just don't call me, but I'll make the video.
Oui, Jose, thank you
Thank
so very
you.
much, Jose.
Bye, Jerome.
Jose, I love you.
What a prick. Hello folks, welcome to Baking Revolution. Today we're going to make profiteroles. Profiteroles are tiny little cream puffs that are usually stuffed with a creamy filling. It can be pastry cream, it can be creme chantilly, it can be just regular good old whipped cream. Anything your mind can imagine. Although today we're going to make 3 different kinds. We're going to make pastry cream filled, we're going to make lemon pastry cream filled, and we're going to make pistachio pastry cream filled. They're going to be out of this world. Right. So profiteroles are made with a paste called pâte aux choux. Pâte aux choux is a paste that will puff up when you bake it. It's made with simple ingredients, folks. It's water or milk, depending on what texture you want. Milk will give you a soft texture. Water will give you a crispy texture. Butter, salt or sugar, depending if you're making sweet or savory, and flour, and the thing that really gives it the puff and the flavor, eggs. Right, folks. It's amazing. It's easy. I'm going to top it off with some amazing ganache. It'll be out of this world. I can't wait to show you how to make it. Come on, let's go, folks.
Alright, so we're going to make our pastry cream first. We're going to combine our half and half along with half our sugar into a saucepan. We're going to heat this on medium heat and bring it to a simmer. Meanwhile, we're going to mix our eggs and egg yolks until they're well combined. We'll then add our cornstarch to the mixture, and then afterwards we're going to add our sugar. Now, you want to make sure the cornstarch is really well mixed and completely lump-free before you add the sugar. Now that our half and half and sugar have come to a slight simmer, we're going to go ahead and add half of this to the egg yolk, sugar, and cornstarch mixture. Now, we're doing this to temper the eggs. If you were to add the eggs directly to the hot milk, you would end up with a scrambled egg mess, and that would not be good. So this way, we're slowly heating up the eggs, and we're slowly bringing them to temperature, and then we're going to return this mixture back to the pan, and we're going to go ahead and whisk this until it thickens. Give it about 2 minutes. When you whisk it and you're heating it up, you want to make sure it comes to a boil. Once our pastry cream is cooked, we're going to go ahead and put it in a bowl. We will then put this bowl in the refrigerator until it's cool, about 30 minutes. While the pastry cream cools down, we're going to go ahead and make our lemon curd by bringing the lemon juice and half the sugar to a boil. Meanwhile, we're going to combine our eggs along with the rest of the sugar, and we're going to whisk this really well until it's really, really well combined. You want to make sure that sugar is thoroughly dissolved, otherwise it'll dry out your eggs. Right, now that our lemon juice has come to a boil, we're going to go ahead and add this to the egg and sugar mixture that we set aside. And just like the pastry cream, we're going to slowly add the hot liquid to the eggs, like that they don't curdle and they don't overcook on us. So right, slowly add it, bring it to temperature. We're going to pour this back into the pan. We're going to continue cooking this until it comes to a boil. Once that is done, we're going to transfer the hot curd onto a bowl, and we're going to put this bowl over ice water to quickly cool it down. You want to do this because we're going to add butter to this towards the end of it once it's cooled down. So you want to make sure you bring it down to at least 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Once your curd is cooled down to 80 degrees, we're going to go ahead and add our butter. We're going to slowly whisk it in until it's completely dissolved. Now we're going to go ahead and whip the heavy cream that we're going to use for the pistachio cream that we're going to make. You want to go ahead and beat this until the heavy cream reaches stiff peaks. Now stiff peaks means that whenever you use your whisk to pull cream off, the peak holds its shape like so. Alright, so now we're going to make our pâte de choux. We do this by combining the water and the butter along with the sugar. We're going to bring this to a boil until the butter is completely dissolved. Afterwards, we're going to take the pan off the heat. We're going to go ahead and add our flour, and we're going to thoroughly mix it until it's completely lump-free. Once it's lump-free, we're going to put the pan back on the heat, and we're going to continue cooking it for about 2 to 3 minutes until the dough is fairly dry. Now that our dough is thoroughly cooked, we're going to go ahead and transfer it to our bowl mixer. And then we're going to continue mixing it with a paddle attachment while we're adding the eggs. Now the eggs are what gives this dough the flavor and also that lift that we want for our pâte de choux to have. The way you want to mix these eggs is that you want to do them one at a time. You don't want to do them all at once because then you end up with a gloopy mess that may have lumps. If you mix it slowly, you can end up with something that's creamy and smooth. So you set your mixer to the highest setting possible, add your first egg, and continue mixing it. Now, and it mixes until it's thoroughly incorporated, then we add another egg. Before the addition of each egg, though, you want to make sure you scrape the bowl. Like that, everything incorporates very nice and even. Now that our choux paste is done, we're going to transfer it to a pastry bag with a round tip. We're going to then pipe this into small rounds about 1.5 to 2 inches in diameter. Now you want to make sure you pipe this as even as possible so it ensures even baking. If you notice, these have little tips at top. We're going to go ahead and slightly press them down with a wet finger and round them off. This way those tips don't burn and you end up with a nice round top. We will then bake them at 425 for 10 minutes and then turn it down to 350 and cook for 10 more minutes. While they're baking, about halfway through, we're going to go ahead and add our butter to our pastry cream. We just put it in, give it a good whisk, and make sure it's well incorporated. Once our butter is well incorporated, we're going to go ahead and add our vanilla extract to the pastry cream. We're then going to mix it thoroughly and make sure it's well combined. Afterwards, the pastry cream will be ready to use. Now that our pastry cream is finished, we're going to go ahead and finish all our fillings. We're going to start by finishing off the lemon curd pastry cream filling by simply adding the pastry cream to the mix. We're going to thoroughly mix it until it's well combined, and we're going to set it aside and put it in the refrigerator. For our pistachio filling, we're going to go ahead and mix in the pastry cream along with the coarsely chopped pistachios. This will give it a nice crunch, a nice saltiness, and a nice creaminess will be added to that pastry cream that we made. It'll be amazing and out of this world, folks. Right, so all you have to do is fold it in until it's well combined. Now we're going to make our ganache that we'll be using to top off the profiteroles. Right, so all we do is combine the hot heavy cream that I nuked in the microwave for about 2.5 minutes onto both our chocolates. Let the heat do the work, folks. Don't stir it too much. You can stir it a little bit just to sort of get the heavy cream around, but just let it sit. Once you let it sit, go ahead and whisk it until it's well combined and it's ready to use.
Okay, folks, now that our profiteroles are made, our pâte de choux is puffed up, we're going to go ahead and fill it up with some pastry cream. Now, to fill it with some pastry cream, we're going to want to make a little incision on the bottom. It's a little tiny cut. Twist your knife around so that it makes a round hole. Now, once you do that, get your pastry bag fitted with a round tip. We're going to go ahead and insert that into the pâte de choux, the cream puff. We're going to squeeze some of that cream in there. We're going to fill it out. You're going to feel it puff up. You're going to feel it get filled up. You don't want to put too much pressure on it, otherwise you'll overfill it and then it'll end up coming out of the end where you cut it. So there you go. So again, make a hole. I already made a hole in this one. We're going to go ahead and insert our tip in there. We're going to fill it up by squeezing the pastry bag. You can slowly feel it filling up. Once it fills up all the way, you go to the next one. You keep repeating this process with all the cream puffs you made, with all the 3 different pastry creams you went that route, but not with one pastry cream you made. It's all good. Right is always good, folks. Right, so let's fill it up. Okay, folks, now that all our profiteroles are filled up, I've separated to the pistachio, the regular, and lemon. Time to put the ganache on top of them. We're going to do a dark chocolate ganache on both the pistachio and the original regular ones. And we're going to do a white chocolate ganache on the lemon ones. Let's do it right now, folks. Here we go, folks. We got our pistachio filled, our pastry cream regular ones, and our lemon ones. I'm going to see if they're perfectly filled. Check this out. Okay, folks. So perfectly filled profiterole will have a filling that's covering the entire inside cavity of the pâte de choux, the pastry that we baked. So we're going to pick this one right here at random. We're going to cut it. Here's the moment of truth. Here's it filled all the way. And look at that, folks. This is a perfectly filled profiterole. Go to the top. Time to eat it. Well, before I put them out again, perfectly filled center. Let's try it out. Pastry cream is silky smooth. That vanilla really does just peek out. It is delicious. I got some ganache on my fingers. I'll try to find the different one. Let's try this pistachio. Let's cut first. Again, perfectly filled in the center. The saltiness of the pistachio brings out the pastry cream a little more pronounced. That heavy cream really makes it creamier. Oh man, can't wait to try the lemon one. Let's try the lemon one. Let's try this one here. Again, perfectly filled center. It's bright. Let's get myself a citrusy. It is out of this world. Folks, I can't wait for y'all to try to make these profiteroles. They're extremely easy to make. They require a little skill, just a lot of patience. Trust me, when you make these, you will never go back to store-bought. Well, see you next time on Baking Revolution, folks. Thank you for watching.